Hey everybody, welcome to the Entrepreneur Motivation Podcast. I'm your host, Chris Bello. Today, I'm going to be talking about that first therapy session that I just went to. And for those of you who have been listening to the show religiously and you listen to all the episodes, you know that 2 episodes ago, I said that I was going to have my first meeting with a therapist slash life coach. I go into it on that episode. You may want to listen to that first to hear why I even wanted to sign up for it and go to this before you listen to today's episode, but it's up to you, whichever order you want to listen to it in. So I went in there without knowing what to expect, obviously, and I mentioned that I didn't expect an overnight drastic change on meeting number one. Just like with anything else, it's going to take consistency. You don't just go to the gym one time and do a full body workout and look amazing. It takes time, consistency. Sometimes you feel like you're not seeing any momentum. And then after working out consistently for a year, you're like, dang, I'm seeing the results, right? And if y'all are looking on the video, I just flexed for you because I was feeling pretty good now that I'm back in the gym and the gym's open. But in any case, now I want to go to the gym, quote unquote, for my mind and just have someone to talk to who can coach me, who has the training, who actually can give me the advice on things to think about, challenge me, ask me questions that I might not have thought through. But this first session was really just a introduction almost, where we get to know each other. I like to talk a lot, so I found that I was just talking and she was a very good listener, the therapist, and she would just sit there and listen, and I'd ramble for 2 minutes about a bunch of random things like I always do, and then I would kind of stop and see what she said, and then she would pick apart words and ask, like, why did you say this word, or what do you think about this? What makes you feel, how does that make you feel? These questions that you don't really think of, you just kind of do things and you expect, like, hey, this is how I've always done it. This is just how things go. But whenever you sit back and reflect on, like, why am I doing that? Why am I thinking that? Those types of questions that you ask yourself or that she asks me really help me just stop and think through, like, why I think something's happening a certain way. And so, like, for me, I shared my story of going through school and I was, quote unquote, plugged into the matrix, into the simulation, like Tom Bilyeu on Impact Theory says. And I was just going through the motions, signing up for a couple clubs here and there, doing some sports, going to school, got into college. Okay, I went to college for 4 years. Great, got my degree, got a job, started working there. I thought it was my dream job because I was just super excited to, like, check the box. Okay, I got the job. I got a good starting salary. I got a bonus. And 3.5 years in, I was just like, man, this sucks. I don't want to do this forever. Like, I hate coming to work. I'm not interested in what I'm talking about or the water cooler talk. It's just, oh, your kid has a soccer game this weekend. Cool. I don't really care. Not to be mean, but it's just like, oh my God, I can only do so much small talk throughout the day. I had no meaningful conversations with coworkers. There were a few coworkers and we talk about things like, oh, real estate, I'm trying to invest in this, or putting some money into stocks. And that's what had my attention. But the actual part where we had to do the work was like, God, it killed my soul. And so I talked through all of that, how I quit the job, how I'm not really that religious. My parents always are bringing it back to religion and saying if I prayed more and stuff, at least my mom, like, son, if you prayed more, like, your goals would be achieved faster and stuff. And I'm like pushing it away because I went to Catholic school my whole life from pre-K to 8th grade in one school. And then I went to a Jesuit all boys, like, private school for high school. And then I got into college where I went to a public university with like 50,000 students from across the world. I mean, let's be real. Okay, it was Texas A&M. I'm wearing the shirt right now. It's a lot of people from, like, Texas. I mean, predominantly, it's starting to become more diverse, but historically it was like a male military academy, a lot of white people, obviously. And not to get into race, because I mean, I'm a mix, but it's starting to become more diverse and people come in, international students. When I was there were students from India and China, and I had some of them in my class. And so it was cool to just meet people. Even had a forward exchange student from France. And I'm like, dude, France is so cool. Like, I would love to go there. And you came to this small town in Texas. Like, I feel like you're getting ripped off here, right? Like, the experience to see the Eiffel Tower and stuff just seems so much cooler than, hey, we got cows in the field on the way to campus. Where was I going with this? Okay, but anyway, yeah. So what I was telling her is I felt like I finally unplugged from the matrix, and I was like, okay, I quit the job. I don't really go to church or anything. And she asked me, like, do you think that you unplugged from that matrix and plugged into another one of like the self-development, that mindset space where I'm like reading, constantly learning, getting better, making checklists, like go, go, go. I'm super hardcore. And I didn't ever think of it like that. And I'm like, yeah, I guess so. I kind of am finding my tribe and my voice and my purpose and what I'm passionate about. I never asked myself these questions before, and now I'm asking. And so she just asked a couple good questions. We got to know each other. It was like a 50-minute session, and then we kind of wrapped it up, and she gave me some homework. So I'm looking here at my notes, and she recommended a couple people to reach out to, or at least to learn from, like Lewis Howes. I've already listened to several of his podcasts, The School of Greatness. I do like his content. She also mentioned Dave Hollis. I haven't really looked into his stuff, but I know him and Rachel Hollis have been like a team. But then she also told me that it's kind of controversial because they just announced this week that they're getting a divorce, and they've been married for several years. They've been best friends. They're divorcing on amicable terms. But that's going to impact his audience, obviously, because they're going to be like, oh, I thought you were a family man and a businessman, and now you guys got divorced. Like, I can't take advice from you, family advice from you is no longer relevant. So I'll still check out some of his content. I mean, I've heard a couple of videos with him. Seems like a good dude. And actually, when I interviewed Dean Graziosi and I asked Dean who I should interview on the show, he recommended I reach out to Dave because I think Dave has a new book out. So maybe now might not be the best time to reach out since they're going through some stuff, but I definitely have him on my list of people to touch base with. She also told me to Google toxic positivity. I didn't do that yet, but let me just look it up and see what it says here for you guys, because I'm assuming that it means you can be too positive sometimes, and that could be bad. Okay, so the phrase toxic positivity is the culture of portraying yourself as being happy no matter what. You're basically switched off to anything which might be viewed as negative. It's also the idea of encouraging people to always see the bright side and not open up about anything bad. Okay, that's just real quick what it says. I got to look at it. And there's another post here that says the dark side of positive vibes, which is toxic positivity. So maybe I need to check into that because I'm the one who's always like positive vibes only, like no negative thoughts in my mind. I'm good at like pushing things away. Maybe I'm good at denial if I need to talk about stuff. But I feel like I'm genuinely positive, and I do try to see the glass half full. But I understand that there may be some things that maybe I just push down or push away that I probably should think about and talk about. I don't know. I'll look into it. I'll let you guys know. And then there's something else that she recommended I take for the next session. We're going to be doing a session every 2 weeks. She said the more frequently you come, the better. But like I mentioned 2 episodes ago, I'm still kind of at that phase where I have good months. I have not so great months. My girlfriend just texted me. It's one of our cats' birthdays today. Maybe I'll try to be a little nicer to her today. Maybe give her like wet food or something. She mentioned for next time, we're going to be meeting every 2 weeks, and the more often you come, the better. But of course, I'm still balancing the good months and the bad months and paying down debt and balancing business expenses and all that stuff, right? So I'm not really ready to do like a $200 per session 4 times a month thing, but I totally am willing to do 2. I know it's an investment in myself and it's going to pay off, and I'm going to unlock new superpowers and stuff. And that's what I'm looking for in this. But the Enneagram personality test from the Enneagram Institute is something she recommended. It's like a $12 test. We can speak the same language. And there's so many different tests out there that, the Myers-Briggs, the personality test, disc profile, all those things. But I guess this is one that they recommend to their clients. And I think she said it's spelled ENNEAGRAM. So I'm going to take that before our next session, see what it says, and then maybe we can start to dig in a little deeper into what's going on in life. I will say that it was kind of nice to just, I was joking, like I can just pay you to listen to me and all my problems and I can vent, which is cool because we all have people, like we feel like we can't really talk to everybody about everything. And I share that I open up with a lot with my mastermind group. We had a dinner with 5 other people, months ago before coronavirus and all that. And I opened up about a lot, like, hey, I'm not doing so great. Like a year ago, I was literally, before I got my license, like, guys, I don't know what to do. I'm not making as much money as I want. Should I drive Uber? Like, any recommendations? I feel like I'm smart. I've got high value skills. I just don't know how to monetize it. And here, fast forward a year later, I still have not quite figured it out like I thought I would yet, but I still have 6 houses for sale. I'm about to get 7 more listed from one seller, like getting offers on properties, working with buyers. So the irons are in the fire and they're starting to pay off here for sure. But yeah, I open up with like my mastermind group, but then there's some times that I, share stuff with my girlfriend, and she's in her own world. She's got school and work and stuff. And then I'm in my own world. So we don't really get excited as much for each other. Like she'll get excited about something at work and I'm like, okay, cool. Like, all right, I'm working on something, but that's good. Good job, babe. And then I'll tell her something like, I was so excited when somebody actually wanted to pay me to teach them how to podcast. And I like sent her a little screenshot like, oh my God, someone just paid me $100 to teach them an hour of podcasting. And she was just like, you better do a good job or something. That was not the response that I wanted. I wanted her to be like, babe, good job. I'm proud of you. And I'm sure she'll be proud and tell her friends and stuff. But like to me, she didn't say like the response I wanted. So that's kind of nice with talking to a therapist and stuff, just to not get validation, but just to talk it out. And one thing for those who aren't ready or aren't sure if you even want to try talking to a therapist, I recommend making a podcast, doing like this video journal type thing. Because honestly, when I'm speaking to the camera and I'm speaking to myself, I'm like getting the words out of my mind and off the tip of my tongue. And I'm letting everyone listen to it and hear it. But at the same time, even if I didn't let anyone hear it, this would be helpful for me to listen to. And I think that so many people have just said they've had similar thoughts as well. They just haven't taken the time to articulate them and to put them out there. And so whenever I say a lot of like my feelings at my day job and when I quit, and now that I feel like I'm just never where I want to be and I'm pushing and I'm getting better, but I'm still hungry, everyone in the audience can relate to some extent. At least if you're at the beginning of this journey, anyone who goes down this entrepreneurial path, I feel like everyone's got to unlock those levels and, get up that staircase one step at a time. And you can relate to some of what I'm saying. I'm 100% certain. But with that being said, that's basically it from that first session. I'll keep you posted. I know it's not going to be, one session, bam, changed my life. It's going to be several months, maybe a year or so. I'll see. I'll keep you posted, but I won't talk about it every single episode so I can continue bringing another value to you as well. So with that being said, hope you have a great week. Hope you're having a great week wherever you're listening to this and whenever you're listening to this. I appreciate you. If you're watching on YouTube, please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. If you're listening on podcasts, subscribe, share it with a friend, leave a review. I think I got everything. Just help me out that way because more people find the content and I can continue to rise in the ratings on Apple Podcasts. So with that being said, thank you guys for listening. Stay tuned for the next episode and go make it happen today. Yeah, go make it happen. Less dreaming, more doing. Get after it.